Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from the New York Times that was published on November 20th, written by Richard Fawcett. Yeah, well, with how he's like spewing shit, I think he's hooked up to a sewer pipe because they're trying to sell a narrative here. And I'm going to try to keep this as clean as possible language-wise. I don't want this to be one of the foul-mouthed news videos that I'm doing now. You know, where I'm clearly delineating. So I'm going to keep it limited to like that type of like language. No F-bombs, stuff like that. Or maybe one like PG-13 with one. But yeah. Basically, he's spewing a bunch of shit here. Because they're trying to sell that narrative about a legit win in Georgia when all they did was count the fraudulent ballots again. They didn't audit anything. So they're trying to say, well, we basically recounted the same exact stuff and look, Biden won, which does not even address what's being talked about with the election. And here's the thing. They certified an election when they found well over 5,000, it might be, what was it, 5,000 or 6,000, something like that, votes in 3 counties. 2 counties, it was like 5,000 and change. The 3rd county, I'm not quite sure what it was. But they found all these votes, and the overwhelming majority of them, guess who they went for? Oh, that's right, Donald Trump. Nothing to see here. We're going to certify the results, and they're just basically trying to push this propaganda to legitimize the theft that's gone on in Georgia. And to try to create this perception where you have, oh, look, Trump is just crazy. Look at what they're talking about. Oh, they certified it. I mean, this is ridiculous. The governor was like, oh, yeah, we'll do an audit. And then he makes a deal with Abrams, who he ran against, and the Democrats, and they don't do the audit. So him, Stacey Abrams, and the Democrats work out this deal where they're just going to recount the same shit ballots. They're not going to go through them. They're not going to check them. They're not going to do anything to make sure that they're legitimate or not. They're just going to make sure the totals are there. And then when they find more votes for Donald Trump, oh, it's nothing to see here. 5,000 votes. I don't care if it's 1,000, 10,000, 100. If you have a sizable amount from like these counties, which that is, you can't certify the election. Because if it happened there, it pretty much definitely had to have happened in other counties. And, you know, they were just kind of kicking those boxes of ballots, you know, like under tables and stuff. Oh, nothing here. But let's see what the New York Times and Richard Fawcett here have to say. Georgia officials on Friday certified President-elect Joseph R. Biden Jr.'s victory in the state. Well, I hate to break it to you. If they're certifying the results, Richard and the New York Times, he's not the president-elect because the results have to be certified by all the states, and then you might be able to say, yeah, he's the president-elect. He's the president-elect of nothing except his basement. But anyway, so his victory in the state, hours after a staffer mistakenly sent out a statement saying the process had been completed. A surreal last-minute glitch in a critical and closely watched battleground state. Oh, so another glitch in Georgia, but nothing to see here. How convenient. These people, the sheer effing hubris of these people. The certification ensured that Mr. Biden would receive the state's 16 electoral votes and dealt a blow to President Trump's bid to overturn the vote in a half-dozen battleground states, and with it, the national election that Mr. Biden won decisively. Oh, he won decisively! So everyone goes to bed. All these places shut down their counting at the same exact time because they can't handle the number of votes that are going for Trump with the software, from what it looks like. Okay? And you want to say decisively? People went to bed going, yeah, Trump's going to be our president. They woke up the next morning when hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of votes all of a sudden appear for Biden with like none for Trump in like Wisconsin. The same kind of thing going on in Michigan. The same thing, type of thing in Georgia. All of these states. Seriously. Give me a break. What the hell? Are you people smoking? Decisive victory? CNN watched the numbers come in on, what was it, Wisconsin? Or was it Michigan? And the people didn't even, or was it Georgia? was one of the states that this happened in. I'm trying to remember. And they went, oh, dip, 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 dip. And they didn't even buy it. Live. It was captured live on TV. It was an early milestone in a state-by-state process of finalizing Mr. Biden's victory. Well, it isn't done yet. He hasn't won yet, okay? The fat lady hasn't sang. But anyway, a process that is set to unfold in the coming days as Mr. Trump continues to deny his defeat and cry fraud, and his campaign and his surrogates inundate the courts with largely baseless lawsuits that have been so far been unsuccessful. Excuse me, you keep misrepresenting. You had private citizens file lawsuits. They were unsuccessful. Almost all of the Trump lawsuits, except for what, 2? I hate to break it to you, haven't been like kicked out of court or lost or anything like that, but keep pushing your bullshit. You people are ridiculous. I live by the motto that numbers don't lie. The Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, Georgia's top election official and a Republican, said at a Friday morning news conference at the state capitol, I believe that the numbers that we have presented today are correct. You didn't go and do an audit of the ballots. You counted the same ballots, fraudulent and legit ones, mixed together. You didn't check their legitimacy. You didn't check to see if they were forgeries. You didn't check to see if there was anything shady. And you were wrong the first time. And all these Trump votes are being found. Thousands upon thousands of them. The numbers don't lie. No, but you do. You said you and the governor were like, yeah, we're going to do an audit. And then you went, nope, nothing to see here. You're a rhino scumbag. What did the Democrats buy you off with? You got ties in these companies? What about the governor? What about that rhino neocon waste of space? You're both rhino neocons. What's in this for you? Huh? What's in this for you? For stealing the will of the Georgian people away from them? To install a senile old man? What do you get out of the deal? Huh? Seriously. And your state said we believe the numbers are correct the last time they were out there. The certification followed a hand recount of the state's 5 million votes that Mr. Raffensperger ordered after it was requested by the Trump campaign. They requested an audit, not a recount. The recount found that Mr. Biden beat Mr. Trump by more than 12,000 votes. And there's thousands of illegitimate ones in there. And is that including the 5,000 that Trump picked up? That's only a couple percent. So you're trying to make this sound like a major victory. You're trying to get this shit closed down and shut down. Nothing to see here. Okay. Oh, no. So what about the glitches? So what about these votes that were found here? So what about the fact we had illegitimate ballots? Just ignore this. You certified this so damn quick, it's not even funny. And you got the New York Times running propaganda for it. I mean, what the hell is this? And they're trying to get away with it. Wake up, people. Like other Republicans, I'm disappointed our candidate didn't win Georgia's electoral votes, Mr. Raffensperger said. Oh my God, you don't care. You sold out, you scumbag. The news came several hours after Georgia's officials mistakenly made a premature announcement that certification was complete. We had a staffer who sent out the wrong press release, said Jordan Fuchs, Georgia's Deputy Secretary of State. Oh, how convenient. So here's the thing. Do you think that they had another mistake, simple mistake, or do you think that something screwed up and then they went, oh crap, the numbers don't match up, and then they said, oh, she put it out prematurely? Because I'm thinking that's what happened. They're throwing this person under the bus because I think that they had another one of their glitches. I wouldn't doubt it. I seriously wouldn't doubt it. The official documentation of Mr. Biden's triumph in Georgia, a state no Democrat has won in nearly 3 decades, underscored the resurgent power of the party. Oh, the resurgent power of the party. Okay. You lost seats in the House. You did, all right, when you thought you were going to have your goddamn blue wave, you didn't how do I put this? Do well in the Senate. which I think the shady stuff that happened with the needing the runoff, I think that's part of the whole Dominion situation. I'm betting Republicans clearly took that state. The Democrat resurgence, you people got your asses whooped across the damn country. New Hampshire, Republican all the way now. Republican House, Republican Senate, Republican governor. Fuck you. There's my PG-13 right there. Seriously, you people are deluded. All these legislatures picked up Republicans, flipped. And you're trying to act like you had this massive victory? You had to cheat to get Biden to become sitting there in his office of the president-elect, which is a la-la land position. You declared him a winner, and he's not a winner. You got you got Republican rhinos in bed with the Democrats playing shady games in Georgia, and they're telling Trump we'll do an audit, and then they just do a recount and don't vet any of the ballots. And you're taking a victory lap on this. You know, you talk about how you people on the left talk about how you're better, how you're the moral people, how how your way is right. If you can sit there in good conscience and allow for this to happen because you don't, and destroy the integrity of the electoral system in this country, and you can just sit there and allow that to happen and run propaganda for it and cover for it because Orange Man bad. You think Trump supporters are bad? You are the worst scum of the earth. You truly, you truly are. You are the worst people out there. That special place in hell for pedophiles, a little ways down, over on the right, in the waiting line, that's where you people belong. I don't say that lightly. Plus, of course, you are also the people that are trying to legalize kid diddling and normalize it, so that doesn't surprise me. But anyway, more states than Mr. Trump. All right. More states than Mr. Trump lost, but is contesting, are scheduled to certify the results in the coming days, with deadlines on Monday in Michigan and Pennsylvania, and on November 30th and December 1st in Arizona, Nevada, and Wisconsin. Well, there's a slight problem. They're doing an audit in certain counties in Wisconsin, number one, which they went, oh, Trump come up with $3 million. Trump walks, shows up with $3 million. Check for $3 million. They got it. They then tried to change the rules because, he came up with the money. What are we going to do? They tried to change the rules to make it so that he couldn't do it. Michigan, you got a county saying, Wayne, the county that Detroit's in, was it Wayne County? I know I'm probably getting that wrong. I'm having a brain fart right now. Damn. But yeah, the county that Detroit's in, not certifying. That's where a lot of those votes for Biden are, because there was so much shady stuff going on. Keep pushing your propaganda. Pennsylvania, the legislature just ordered an audit. So, yeah, I think you might have an issue here. Nevada, what was it? Arizona, the governor said they're not going to certify the results until all the lawsuits are done. Nevada, there's a lot of really questionable stuff. You people are trying to seriously sell this hardcore. It's so funny. It's so sad. It's so funny. You think that you people dictate what leader ends up in office. You think you can steal this election. You think like you're Maduro, okay, or Chavez, or the communists that infiltrated all these countries and stole elections and stuff like that. You think that you can get away with that in this country. And the sad part is, if the glitch wasn't so bad with the Dominion software algorithm on the note of how many people turned out for Trump, you might have been able to get away with it. But that didn't work out that way. And in the process, all these people woke up to your bullshit. Okay, it isn't just the people on the right that have a clue. It isn't just the people, that are independents, like myself, that have a clue, that don't subscribe to left or right, because a true libertarian, it's a false paradigm. Okay, the people that are independents that lean either way. Hell, you even woke up Democrats because they went to bed going, oh God, Trump's our president. And they were like, yeah, And they wake up the next morning and they're like, how the hell did this happen? Then they start seeing what's going on and they're like, wow, this is really shady. So you woke up too many people to what's going on. This isn't going to fly. No, you're going to have, you try to say, oh, well, it's only Trump supporters that don't believe this. No, Americans don't believe it. On both sides of the false paradigm. You have to realize that. But you think you can keep pushing your propaganda, your lies, and get away with it. You people are ridiculous. You people are ridiculous. The certification of votes in Georgia came amid significant political turmoil and pressure. Mr. Raffensperger was accused of mismanaging the election by fellow Republicans because he did, including the state's two senators, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, who are facing runoff races in January that will determine the party control of the Senate. Both are ardent supporters of Mr. Trump. And here's the thing. Don't you think that their elections could have been tampered with as well so that there would be this runoff? Don't you really think that they might do that? You know, they tried to do the steal there, but if they did the steal on them too, they're like, oh, yeah, there's no way we can sell that in Georgia. And plus, they also had a limited amount of time to fill out all those ballots by hand and show up in the middle of the night with them. Mr. Raffensperger has asserted since Election Day that the process was changed with overseeing. He was charged with overseeing was trustworthy. Ha 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 ha. When he ordered the recount the Trump campaign had requested, he said it was part of a risk limiting audit of the votes. Yeah, you notice they put in quotes, risk limiting audit? Because an audit, you actually go and you check the validity of the ballots. This was just a recount. So they put in quotes. So basically, this little sleazebag slanged some bullshit, said, yeah, we'll do an audit. Thought he could pull a fast one, and people went, whoa, and they're still trying to sell this. So they put it, so even the New York Times basically is kind of admitting here that he said he was going to do an audit and then just did a recount. So the New York Times can't even admit that the guy was dishonest about it because it works in their favor of their bullshit with trying to anoint sleepy, creepy, perverted Uncle Joe, the senile waste of space, into the office of president. They want to anoint him. The audit, which spanned 6 days and involved hundreds of employees, uncovered a number of uncounted ballots in 4 counties. Now, here's the thing. Now they're going to throw in the word audit, but it wasn't an audit. It was a recount. They can't make up their mind. In the beginning, oh, it was a recount. Now it's an audit because they're trying to sell, oh, well, he said audit. No. An audit, you physically check the actual legitimacy of the ballots, the legality. That didn't happen here. So stop calling it an audit. And this is what's funny. It showed that Mr. Biden had defeated Mr. Trump by 12,284 votes, with Mr. Trump gaining 1,872 net votes compared to the initial tally. The newly discovered ballots ate into Mr. Biden's statewide lead, which stood at 14,156 votes earlier this week. Yeah, so what does that tell you? They put the fix in. These ballots got misplaced. They didn't expect these, and they're reflective of how people voted. Because Biden barely picked up squat out of those ballots. But Trump, these ones that somehow got misfiled, disappeared, however you want to look at it, circular file, but were recovered, they went to Trump. They're seriously trying to sell this farce. They honestly think this farce is going to fly. Wake up, people. By law, Mr. Raffensperger was obliged to certify the election results before 5 p.m. on Friday. Governor Brian Kemp, a Republican, so on Friday. Really? Even if there's like really shady things going on, well, of course he's involved when he's not going to allow an actual audit. And he's calling it an audit. He lied to get an okay and then didn't do what he said he was going to do because he made a deal with the governor and Stacey Abrams, and both him and the governor made a deal with Stacey Abrams and the Democrats. This came out that they weren't going to go with, like, say, the mail-in ballots and check the signatures. Why the hell is Stacey Abrams making deals like that? This woman still hasn't conceded against that governor, okay? She lost in Georgia. What's the governor doing making deals with the woman he beat? That should tell you something, people. This woman still hasn't conceded that race. Biden is feeding that delusion when he talks about her. And they're making deals with these people. The governor of Georgia and the Secretary of State. And they're both Republicans. Says he's going to do an audit. Not doing an audit. Just doing a recount of the fraudulent votes mixed in. Do not accept this as a legitimate count, people. No, there's an asterisk with Georgia. So anyway, Governor Brian Kemp, a Republican, must then certify the results by 5 p.m. on Saturday. The law states that the governor shall certify the slates of presidential electors receiving the highest number of votes, which appears to give him no choice but to choose electors who support Mr. Biden. And not so fast. Because it's the state legislatures, you weasels, that decide who the electors are. It's not the governor. Okay, U.S. Constitution says the state legislature does. I don't care what you're saying about Georgia. State legislature says this. Deal with it. Are they going to fall in line? Because they're still pretty I think they're the Republican majority. They going to allow this sham to happen? You lie. You lie about how they're appointed. Okay? How the electors are appointed. Right here. It's the governor that appoints them. No. It's the legislature. The U.S. Constitution says that. Sorry, you losers. You seriously are scummy people. The Trump campaign has one more bite at Georgia's results. State law allows the loser of an election to request a recount done by high-speed scanning machines if the winner is ahead by less than half a percentage point, as in the case here, but with Mr. Biden ahead by 0.25%. Mr. Trump will have 2 business days to request the recount. So here's the thing. Not only that, all right, he needs a full audit of this because this wasn't an audit. Okay, I think Lynn Wood is a tool. All right, as an attorney, he's going to end up getting Rittenhouse. Excuse me. He's going to end up getting Rittenhouse. Either a needle in his arm or life in prison with how he's handling that case. My honest to God's feeling on that one. Okay. He's fighting in Georgia while Rittenhouse is sitting in prison. I mean, I understand this situation's serious, but is he the appropriate choice for this? A guy who's being sued by his former partners for like embezzling money and shit? But he's fighting in Georgia. They said, oh, well, the people don't have a right to call bullshit on this. It's the Secretary of State or something like that was the judge's ruling. I mean, this is ridiculous. Seriously. They're celebrating a bullshit recount. They're trying to say, oh, it's said and done. Get it over with. Screw you, Republicans. Screw you, all you Trump supporters. And it's not over yet. At the very end, they admit it's not over yet. It's kind of funny. They have to admit it. But they do it at the very, very end when they know most people are going to be done reading the article. Are going to, at the point where it's going to be well past the point where most people stop reading the article. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.